Welcome to the second episode of season 2 of Through Jeremiah's Eyes. Today I am joined by
your boy Miles
on my right and
it's your boy Z.
Yep. On my left. But today we will be talking about social media and how it has affected us in society. For this season of my podcast, I'm asking each of my guests that come onto the podcast to bring something and that has some sort of significance or importance to their life. So, what is y'all's things?
I mean, it has to be the cell phone.
It's the phone.
Considering like how much you use it just in a day-to-day atmosphere, it's an insane amount.
Absolutely, my hours are bad.
Going through them hours and seeing what you've been using it on, like the amount of TikTok I'll be on is
it's insane. It is insane.
It's getting bad.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that when you first got phones that you guys would be on it as much as you are?
Absolutely.
Like today?
Absolutely.
So I guess like to build on that, what was the first time you got your phone? What was the first phone
that you got?
Yeah, what was the first phone that you got? How old were you?
It was like, I went to school, it was a little Android. I had no servers on that mug. But I just had mad games. But I did have this like government phone. It was like yay big. It had like minutes. It had like minutes on it. I could text on it. It had like you had to like click it mad times to do a certain letter. It was bad. It was rough. It was really rough.
My first phone was an iPhone 4 when I was in middle school. It was the free phone of the day. It just like perfectly worked out.
It was the free
phone of the day.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard that.
Boy, you know how happy I would be back in the day.
With iPhone 4?
iPhone?
I mean, I had an iPhone 4 in 4th
my
6th grade.
first iPhone was an iPhone 5C, and it was my brother's hand-me-down that got stolen, shipped to New York, pawned, and bro.
I remember that.
Bro, it was like missing half the screen. Half the screen was like black. The rest of it they were like, "Oh, Miles, you need a phone." And they handed me this phone. I'm like,
what you finna do with the phone?
I needed a phone. No cap. I could still make phone calls on this shit. I had that for like 3 months too. It was bad.
As long as it worked. Then
yeah,
it is what it is.
It got there. It got what I needed.
Was it that blue one or the white one?
It was the white one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember the blue one too. The blue one did way better.
Well, the 5C was a great phone.
It was
I'm not even gonna lie.
great phone.
What do you think the best phone was?
Like, as far as performance or
just
as far
peak phone?
Peak phone was probably the 5C.
The 5C, bro. The 8 was fire.
The 8 was
the 8 was the 6.
The 6 was the Touch ID. I was like,
I think
start.
the X, really?
Yes, the X was amazing. Wasn't that just that was the introduction of the Face ID? No,
like that was cool.
That's true. It didn't have a home button, or was that?
Yeah, that was that one.
That was that one. Yeah, I kind of missed the home button. No cap.
I don't.
You
home
know
button was cool.
Yeah, no, they could do the home button.
The Touch ID was so much faster.
It definitely was. It was.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, were y'all on Instagram and YouTube from like inception when it first dropped?
No.
No.
I didn't. I think I got on Instagram right as they changed the design.
The design of it?
Yeah, when it wasn't the vintage
camera.
Yeah. I actually no. I kind of do remember it being that for a while.
I was on Instagram pretty early. I'm not gonna lie.
I was on it pretty late. I will admit that for our age group. Yeah, I was on it pretty late. I think I didn't really start doing Instagram until like 6th grade.
That's pretty late.
Yeah, I was late.
Like I was in elementary school. My profile picture was Paul George, and in my bio I had like #12, #blessed. It was bad. It was bad. But I do remember that like heavy.
Bible verse in the bio is
in the
absolutely.
It's a bit. It's cool.
Just looking back on it, it's
just
that's
like,
crazy.
You know, God first, you know, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
With the man.
Yeah, the hand.
We were bad with their
all
emojis.
hoopers ever.
Ball is life.
Oh, man.
I feel like I used to just post. I used to draw. I used to post like drawings on it. I used to just post like cringe.
See, no, but that's like that's what Instagram was supposed to be. But like we turned it into something way worse. Way worse. Because now it's like, oh no, if you're not dropping a fire pic on Instagram,
you're not getting no likes. You're not getting no likes.
We created an entire generation of making a second account so that you can use the app.
How you were supposed to.
The Finsta,
bro, Finsta, quote unquote Finsta, bro. That was like the start of how you're actually supposed to use social media.
Yeah.
But now it's just something that's like everybody wants attention
You got
and likes, comments.
You pull out the craziest fits just to post a picture
Bro.
and get all them like 200 likes. But dang, that's cool. But
Hey,
like,
200 likes was a high ball for me. No cap.
I've never gotten 200. I have never gotten
200 likes on a picture is like, oh man, I
I'm
look
famous.
nice. I look
Like, yes,
nice,
I
bro.
did this. I snapped on
Yeah,
this.
because I wasn't hard into social media. I think it was also just because I had bad social anxiety.
No cap.
Yeah, it could definitely get you there. Like,
Do you feel like social media adds to that?
like if you're like talking about the conception of social anxiety, I do believe social media had a huge hand in that.
How
Yeah.
so?
Cause like you said, like the aesthetics of looking pretty, and then how we use social media, especially back in the day, we don't use it that bad anymore. But as far as like, oh, if you post something, you gotta look nice. You know, you want the likes, you want the comments, you want to look a certain way so that you can appeal to a certain audience. That kind of fed into like, oh, this is how you're supposed to look, which we all know that whole issue.
Yeah.
Like it played a hard hand in the social issue of that, of just the I need to look a certain way in order to get with these certain types of people. But I think times have changed. It's a lot like the cool thing about right now is everything's in style, so you can rock.
You can do whatever you want.
70s, and people over here can rock 2000s. People over here can rock.
And it'll still be
90s.
fresh.
Yeah, people over here can rock futuristic. Like, you can do pretty much anything now. So I think that's like the cool aspect of it, though.
So it's like the plus sides and the drawbacks. How you feel about it?
I think it definitely add to it for sure. Because like when you post it, like you post a picture, it's like, oh, you want validation for all the likes, you want all the stuff you want to do. But like because me and you were just talking about like the Jordans, especially if you see someone Jordans, oh, you don't got Jordans, you weren't cool.
You weren't cool without the Jordans.
And like that really sucked because I was like, I never had like Jordans like that, so just like dang, I was really cool. I wore Vans.
Yeah, you know, we skater kids. We
Exactly.
poor. Them $60 shoes was real for us.
No cap.
Yo, you tell me we can get like a $60 shoe and it be like semi-stylish?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because the $100 for the Jordans. Oh,
I used to be shook because there were people that could consistently come in with the Jordans
With the new
that
pair.
dropped every single day.
Bro, and it was like, me, I don't know about y'all. My mama wasn't playing with me when it came to her coin.
Yeah.
She was like, now why am I getting you that? And I'm like, no, it's not like my mom was stingy on spending stuff on me, but she was like, well, if you don't need it, you're not getting it.
And then my parents, they were buying me shoes at first, but then it got to the point where I was like, I wanted so many shoes
And
that they were
so
like,
expensive.
you gonna have to buy them.
Yeah,
and they didn't like buying them because then I was at the age where I was growing a lot. So then I would grow out. They would buy the shoe. I would grow out the shoe, and then I would want a new shoe.
Yeah.
And then once I had to start paying for shoes, and I realized
Oh, no.
I don't have the
money
for it.
I know why they weren't buying me shoes.
Exactly. But even with like social media and everything, I feel like the stigma and like the, I guess, hyping up and normalization of like that hype culture. I feel like even from a young age, even though we didn't really, I don't know if it was as big of like a hype beast culture, even though I feel like it was like the start of it. And then it got to the point where it's like, yeah, now everybody recognizes it. Like when everybody had phones, everybody had Jordans all the time.
It took me from my phone.
The phone.
No, phone, like, yeah, Roshis, yeah.
Hirachis, all of them. The run.
Social media blew those out
The enemies.
because it was like if it was any other shoe, it would have been like, oh, you know, it's another shoe,
That's
release,
cool.
another Nike release. Who cares? But it was like, oh, you saw this person wearing them.
Oh.
Now it's
Now.
a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
now it's something, and then you saw this person wearing it. You're like, okay, now
like,
this is a shoe. Like this is something we gotta look at. So then Hirachis became like the only thing on people's feet.
Yeah.
Roshis became like the only thing on people's feet. It almost happened with the 90s and the Vapor Maxes. Like it became to like, oh, it's a standard. Air Force One.
So now,
easy.
So now you have to have them.
Yeah, now you gotta have them. And social media has like, again, that grip on that. It's really crazy.
It is. I never had a Hirachis. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I haven't had.
I haven't had Hirachis. I think I had a pair of Roshis.
I didn't have either one.
But I don't think I haven't had a pair of phones.
That was
They're just so
expensive.
expensive.
Oh, yeah, those because
They were like $300. No, that was way too expensive.
$300 for that cinder block of a shoe. I personally, to this day, never liked the look of Roshis. Although I wanted a pair, not Roshis, correction, foam balls. I did not like the look, but back in the day, that was the shoe.
That was the shoe that everybody had, and it was like,
you gotta have.
Everybody had them.
And I still never got one.
and even looking back at it now, I'm like, why did I care that
about
other
the shoe.
people had.
It was like we were 12. Why were we caring that much about it?
It shouldn't have been like that. But I feel like we were also like the generation to start that real bad.
Yes.
But I feel like we were also kind of the generation to end it. Like, yeah, we created it. As far as like you gotta rock this. Like, I feel like we were definitely like the kickoff of that. Like,
Absolutely.
we definitely like really kicked that off. Social bullying, like really.
It was really big.
Cyberbullying.
That was
and
us.
then, but like we were also kind of the generation to end it because it's the same people that are going around like, oh, you gotta wear this, gotta wear that. And now people are going out wearing conceptual stuff.
You can wear whatever you want to.
Wear whatever you want to. You got people out, guys wearing high heels again. You got girls wearing Jordans that are in the men's color. Like no one cares anymore.
Yeah, just wear whatever you want.
Which is what it should have always been.
What do you think made it get away from that?
People.
Like, I think people just started to be like, I don't really care anymore. Just like, why should I care so much about like someone being like, oh, you don't got the new shoes on? Oh, you're not cool. But like, why do I care? I just want to do whatever I want.
Right.
So I think it's because we've gotten older.
I think a lot adds to it, but
mature aspect. Better outlook. You met more people. That idea of like, oh, people are different. People do what they want to do has already kind of like sunken in way deeper. You know, going around middle school, you see the same people for like what 6 years.
Every single day, the same
exact people, right? So of course you're gonna have like arguments of like, oh no, this is what we're supposed to look like. This is what we're supposed to like. It should have never been a week. This is what I look like.
I'm wearing that.
You're not wearing that. But you know, people gonna do what they want to do.
Everybody judges everybody for everything.
Yeah.
Even today, it's just now people aren't vocal about it.
Yeah. I think because we're older and we got more stuff on our plate, we're just like, why should I give so much time about caring about what they think when I got way bigger problems to think about. Just like, why should I care?
I got bills to pay.
I got bills.
Rent is due. Utilities.
Like, my car is not starting.
Like, why am I care?
Do you understand what that does to someone's mental mindset? Like, yo, your entire world is like fumbling because your car is not starting. I don't have time to sit there and worry about if I'm getting 300 likes on a photo anymore.
Not.
What was I about to ask? Like, continue. What are you about to say?
No, I mean, like, because, we pretty much talked about it as far as, like, but I mean, like, if you want to go back further, we can go to, like, Kanye. Kanye starting to make clothes changed it. And then social media being able to publicize all of that. TMZ. TMZ really changed
the articles come out every week on some.
They know what they're doing.
Bro, they knew what they was doing. They was way ahead of their game. Way ahead of the game. Because they was coming out there like, you can't stop us.
We're going to do whatever we want.
Like Shia LaBeouf going crazy on TMZ.
Yeah.
And
that reached everybody. Everybody
saw that.
Everybody knew that was going on. The Kardashians. Everyone knew what was going on with the Kardashians because TMZ was going out there and shoving cameras in people's faces and posting it on the internet.
And really made a show about like their life. Like that is insane.
It's crazy.
To me, that is crazy.
It's like, as far as I know, I don't know a lot about the Kardashians, but it's like the furthest I can backtrack it, like, what's her name? Chris, I want to say, the mother.
Yeah,
she dated the lawyer of O.J. Simpson. That's how they got.
There's a whole.
Or maybe there was something else before that. I know that of course she was married to the Olympic athlete that is now. That's Caitlyn. Caitlyn.
That's Caitlyn.
Yeah, so of course that's already gonna boost your platform. But it's like, as far as like, how did they start? It was always social media.
Social media, and then that's why
their entire platform was built on social media. First, it was the media coverage of OJ, or at least as far as that I know. There's probably stuff even further back than that. But the first thing that really got them out there was she was married to the lawyer that was defending OJ Simpson, right? And then that whole thing.
And then that dude Kim.
Yeah, Kim's whole thing.
And
then that exploded. That exploded.
And then it really got really crazy when it was Kim and Kanye together.
Oh, Kim and
that was the start.
That was like the Hollywood.
That was
marriage.
the couple.
Yeah, that was the Hollywood marriage. Like how. I would say comparable to how the UK saw Queen. It was Kim and Kanye over here. Like, it was just like, no way the two biggest people on social media are married and have a kid. That's crazy.
Do you think
that was crazy.
On the topic of that, do you think any publicity is bad publicity?
I mean, it depends. What is your market? Are you just trying to get your name? If you're out there just trying to get your name out there, no publicity.
So then no publicity is bad publicity.
But if you're like a charitable organization,
Yeah.
you could definitely have some bad publicity. Like there's certain things that you don't want your name involved with. But I mean, situations like Kim and Kanye, yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, they're always going to get famous.
If people are talking about you, you're making money.
Anything for clout.
Anything for clout. And I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that the Kardashians sit there and do anything for clout. Yeah. I'm gonna say that because, like, I think Kim gets, like, a lot of hate. That is a bit overdue.
That is.
It's a bit unnecessary. Because, like, at this point, she's just somebody trying to raise her kid. She just happens to have an unnecessary amount of money. Like, insane.
You know, her love life kind of crazy.
And they publicize it all.
A lot. Everything.
We know.
I was about to say, how do you feel about that? Relationships being just in general, like social media and people publicizing relationships.
It can kind of. Please run that back. Please run that back.
Look, why am I going to post about my relationship? I'm like, bro, it's my relationship. I just want to be internally with my partner. Be like, okay, why am I going to post about? Oh yes, or 1 year or 2 years. Oh yeah, we just had to fight. Like what? No, why am I going to post? Why am I posting about it? That's stupid.
So I'm thinking like in the aspect of like YouTube families. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Ace family, right? I can't stand those types of all the pranks.
So fake.
Gone wrong.
It's fake.
It can get bad. Like, and I also think like because of that, it kind of affects like modern day relationships because there's a lot of people out there that look at like the Ace family and all those other social media.
And they see that as like a
and they're
model.
like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Like, no, it's not. And I feel like a lot of people are having a hard time realizing that because you put unfair expectations on individuals, relationships, whatever, and people can't maintain that. Like even in friendships, like group friendships, like what was that? The Hype House. There was some other houses. Team 10. There was some other stuff like this is how friend groups are supposed. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. But as soon as like people are able to tell those two apart, like acting and real life is like what I really want to call it. But yeah, then it's not as bad. But that's not how today's world is. People see that and they're like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's going to be problematic for the next generation? Like the younger kids that aren't of the mindset that we have? Because we've been able to see the development from when we were younger up until now.
Right.
And see how everybody's like moving. We actually see like what real life is compared to social media. But their life has been
social media.
Since they've been born.
No, I get what you're saying. I was thinking like, yeah, because we call them iPad kids.
They are iPad kids.
Yeah, I'm dang near an iPad kid. Low key. But that's only because like we were pretty much born at the epicenter of technology. We was like, oh, this is huge. Like it's like being born when oil was found.
Yeah, right. And
it's like, yo, this is an entire thing.
Changes.
Exactly. Yeah, everything changes. So from us, because like me growing up, I wasn't able to sit inside all day. My mom made me go outside. Go play with your friends.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do.
Yeah, go do physical activity. So I think like we were like the last generation to really get that type of entertainment.
And that really sucks.
Which really sucks.
It really sucks.
Like you miss a large amount of childhood
like memories
if you're not
based
going
off
out there and just hanging out with your friends.
Just
like,
being outside, just doing stupid stuff. It was perfect. Good memories.
Yeah. You know, you used to be like late and you go down to that one friend's house, you see all the bikes in the yard, I'm about to get in here. Oh, that's his bike. There's his bike. Okay, I know who's in here. We walk in, we have a great time. But it's like times like that don't really exist, especially with COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, I think COVID.
Oh man, that's an entire conversation, especially with like social media and COVID. That was a jump because streaming got huge,
crazy.
Netflix
live streaming. Too.
Yeah, cable almost felt like unnecessary at that point.
Yeah, honestly.
Food delivery, like Uber Eats.
Food delivery
massive
is insane. Especially now, the market for that is. I can go on this.
Yeah, no,
but
that's a conversation. That's a conversation.
That's a conversation right there.
Episode 5.
How do you feel like? What's it called? Or what do you feel about the question? Or how do you feel about it? What's your opinion on it?
About which one?
Because he did.
Because we were talking. We branched out.
I was about to like look.
About what's it called? The like how social media is gotta be playing a role.
In the next generation.
The next generation.
Okay. Me personally, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as us because more people are seeing it just like, okay, this is fake. This is just acting. It's not just a real. Like, people are not going to see the Ace family and be like, oh, no, that's real family and stuff like that. I think more people, because us now and the kids now be like, nah, that's fake. It's like, oh,
that's fake. And I really hope they see it like that.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be a little bit better than us for sure, because I'm not going to lie. Me, personally, I used to watch all of them, and I'd be like, nah, this is real.
This is real. This is what I need. This is what I need.
This is crazy right now.
This is the type of relationship I want.
So I don't think they're going to be as bad as us, per se, but I think they're still going to affect them. Absolutely, 100%.
Do you feel like social media in general is gonna affect them a lot? Like growing up, like strictly on social media, because I feel like we got it introduced to us.
Yeah.
But we didn't just come out the womb knowing about like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that.
Now that is heavy now, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, Twitter's crazy.
Twitter is unfiltered social media, which is like horrifying. It's not like unfiltered, but it's like
it is.
It can get bad. It can get pretty
bad.
close. Which I feel like is necessary. There's a necessary evil in the world.
Yeah.
There needs to be a platform where people can talk whatever they want to talk, even
Twitter
if it's
is one of
not necessarily good things. Mm-hmm. But we got to know that there's people out there that think like this, and I feel like that's the good aspect of social media. You get a lot of opportunities through social media as far as like growing. So with the younger generation being able to have those opportunities immediately, I feel like it'll definitely benefit them in the long run.
Yeah,
but it's just a matter of like, can you still keep up your social skills?
Yeah.
Because texting's not the same as a conversation.
It's not.
It's close. And I think like us, it's particularly me in your class, because y'all was older. Y'all got out a little bit before us, but like we went from sophomores in high school to freshmen
in college.
Yeah. It was
insane.
It was a crazy jump, and it was like you see it immediately. There was people who sat inside all of quarantine, which, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It was bad out there.
But you had people that you could clearly see they socialized in the past 2 years. I've met people in my age group where I'm like, yo, this is still a sophomore in high school.
Like they're children.
Just with the mindset.
Yeah, this is still a sophomore in high school.
I think the biggest example is our freshman year, that all-white party.
Oh, my goodness.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was like girls would be on this side, boys on that side. They weren't talking.
They were
nothing.
in the corners.
They was in the corners. The little group.
Like,
it was nothing.
And
it was
in
nothing.
The gym. It was like if you walked in there, you would see a clear open path.
Yeah, it was a middle school dance.
It was basically like a middle school dance, and I'm like, yo, this is.
It was bad.
This is our grade.
It was bad.
This is our people, because it was only freshmen there. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, these people really haven't gotten past the whole like, oh, you're a different gender than me type of block, especially like being at work. Now, like, I think work changes your social diagram.
Yeah.
Because I'll be having best friends that be like 64. Like, Mr. Johnson? Bro, Mr. Johnson out there at work, I'm mad. I'm mad. I got Rick there at work right now. If Rick's not there, I'm mad. Because why isn't Rick here?
My boy not there.
Why my boy not there? Is this like 78-year-old white man. He's the head volunteer there. He's there every day. More than me. And he's not getting paid. I'm getting paid to be here. And he's here more than me. And I'm just like, Rick, I messaged you. I messaged you the long way. You're a cool guy.
They've experienced more life.
Yeah.
A lot more life. Do you feel like the way that they experience life, so without social media, do you feel like, alright, question. Do you feel like you would have rather grew up in an age without social media or with social media? And why?
I'm letting you answer that one first, Phil.
Okay. So I know when you see all like especially the girls be like, oh no, I would love to live in like 60s where it's just like no social media. Be like, oh, you can just live. Honestly,
what were you doing?
I would rather live right now. I would rather live right now because like the amount of information you get every day,
instantly.
Anything like news, like it's just stuff, and like I love consuming all this information. It's great. So I would. Back then, just like, especially back in the 60s, it wasn't really that good for
especially people of darker skin color, color in them.
It was like, what would I get it, just being able to be like, without social media, you can just talk to people, just have a regular conversation without even worrying about your phone, but just like, that's.
I mean, we do that.
Like, we do that now. But it's just like, no, now we got information that you can just learn.
Information.
So I think I would live way more right now.
I think I would also agree that I would want to live in an age of technology because You imagine like not having a stove. Like I know y'all are thinking like the logical part. I'm thinking like the realistic part. No microwave, no cell phone.
That's crazy.
I can't call
No
my
TV?
mom. I can't. No TV. No NBA games. I'm sitting here just
You just get the
dog in
updates.
life.
You get the updates in newspaper the next day.
You're getting newspaper. That's your club. You imagine figuring out about election and waiting until the
In the newspaper.
newspaper the next morning?
That's crazy.
Like, hey, yo, by the way, y'all got to get up and go. It's a little late, don't you think? At least you get, like, emails.
Emails for sure. You just look it up.
Sure.
Look up the election.
Yeah, like, no lights. No lights.
No, lights is crazy.
Bro, no lights.
Okay, they were cavemen.
Yeah, I was like, we said the 60s.
We said no technology. Bro.
Not just without social media.
Oh, no social media? Okay. Still.
But still, yeah, right now.
What the heck am I thinking about with no social media? Because do you count, with newspapers count as social media?
And I feel like that's just media, like print media.
Oh, print media. Okay, I see your point
Okay.
there. Okay. So yeah, if you want to do like social media that way, I'm still
picking
I
right
still
now.
would-
yeah, because like
Yeah.
it's insane to wait for all your news to be delivered to you, handmade by a man in a hat.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
What if it's something important?
Like, come on.
Bro, JFK assassination.
Next
And you
day.
don't know.
You
The
even
next
know.
day, you're like,
Bro,
what?
that would have been trending on Twitter
only
that day.
It would have been trending on Twitter that day. That
Right
hour.
when
That
it
hour.
happened. Right when it happened.
We would have known. No social media? You would have known
wouldn't
until
know
like next
nothing.
week.
like no social media.
By the way, your president didn't make it.
What you mean?
Yeah, no social media, I feel like would be crazy. Like, I feel like there are like pros and cons to it at the same time, though. I would definitely still stick with today when there's social media. But I feel like back then, how you're saying like it was just an easier way of living, I feel like that would have been cool. Like, just be able to go throughout life, not...
Like, not worrying about just all stuff.
I guess maybe because I'm just like someone who needs to know. Maybe nosy is the word I'm thinking of, but like, yeah, I don't know. Going around just
Not
ignorant
knowing.
about it.
Just ignorant.
Just ignorant about it. You're just like, I have no clue what's going on.
Plus, you get to know more people, you get to communicate with more people with
Communicate with
social media and
more
everything.
opportunities, more.
But then at the same time, opportunities still in the 60s. It wasn't the best. So at the same time, really,
We didn't know we were time traveling. You thought we were just removing social media.
Yeah,
Well, I guess,
I'll just say removing social media.
Okay. Still picking right now. Still picking right now.
Yeah. I feel like one of the things that's also with social media, I feel like even though I feel like it's great to be able to have the access to information, I feel like the same way with the internet. Great to have access to information, but I feel like sometimes it gets to a point that it's an overload of information.
Yeah.
And then
too
some
much.
people don't take the time to go in depth with the information. Like everything on the internet isn't real.
Yeah.
You can manufacture
Just
whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But
Anybody can build a webpage.
Wikipedia? Don't use Wikipedia. Bad.
Hey,
I'm still using it.
no, you know what's crazy? I figured out Wikipedia was bad the worst way possible. It was luckily I didn't submit the assignment yet, but I was definitely using Wikipedia, and like I started to realize it because I had to like find all the world leaders, and I started to go through it. And I'm like, yo, no way Queen Elizabeth is the president of Africa. No way. And I also went to like Canada. Queen Elizabeth is the president of Canada. I'm like, huh? Go to Russia. Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth.
All right,
I'm like,
let's talk.
dog, this is. Are we not understanding the power of this one woman? Like, am I just
Am I
now-
missing something?
Am I missing
Am I
something? Do I
wrong?
not understand that Queen Elizabeth is the most powerful person on the planet? Like, that was the realization that was going through my head in like 5th grade, and then I was like, oh, this is Wikipedia. I can literally copy and delete this, and just that boy.
Would you keep your kids off of social media?
No.
Or the internet? Not even for like a certain amount of time?
I mean, if there's a certain point. Like, what age do you want an Instagram?
Yeah, so what age would you guys let your kids have
Your kid
IG?
can have like an Instagram when he's 13.
Let me third. Get him like 6th grade, but elementary school, going outside.
You don't do that. Go outside.
Go
I need you to
outside.
go do some physical activity before you get plump
Like-
in my
like-
face.
like, what
And
are you
then everybody
posting
looking at
about?
me like I'm a bad
And
man.
that's the other thing. What are you
posting in
posting
4th
about?
grade?
Yeah. What are you worried about?
Just had PE today. It was cool, I guess.
I like nap time. Nap time is fun.
My mom put me on punishment. I hate her.
Like, there's no reason like go outside, but like middle school, I get it because like puberty, all that stuff. Like you want to be like, I get that. So like middle school, I think it's like a good start.
Yeah, I feel like Plus, you need to be introduced to it at a young age.
Yeah.
It's like, you look at our parents, man, they struggling. They are struggling, man. This technology hoopla, this riffraff and all this bull job, they can't deal with it. It's too much.
It is complicated. It's weird to think about, like, what if if we did not grow up on social media?
Like imagine today.
How lost would we be with it?
What you mean I ain't taking it to the mail? What you mean I don't need no stamp? Yeah, no, it'd be an issue. It'd be a dead issue. And it's like, our parents are going through that. So we're having to, like, walk them through technology as they're walking us through life.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a mutual exchange. I offer a trade.
I teach you brain script. You teach me how to cook.
You teach me how to live.
Sounds like a fair trade, right?
Give me food.
Sounds like a fair trade to me.
I reset router. You give me food.
Would you guys ban your kids from the internet for a certain amount of time, or even like say gaming? Because we know how gaming used to be.
The stigmatism of gaming.
Now it's different, but you get to meet a whole bunch of different people. People can say whatever to you whenever they want to.
Whenever
they can say that they're one thing and they're not be that. You could be playing against a grown man when you're a child, but like, does that make you feel uneasy about letting your kid be on gaming?
Like, you got it.
You got it. It don't matter.
Okay, look, I am a heavy gamer. So I don't want to say like social video games is like my only form of interaction with people, but it was definitely a large portion because I played on the PlayStation 3. Here's where the PlayStation 3 changed media as far as like interacting with people versus the Xbox. The Xbox was way ahead of its time. The Xbox had party chat.
360 was amazing.
360 was great.
That was like genius level IQ play by Xbox. Like they were so on it with that. PlayStation didn't have that. So if you wanted to talk to your homie, you also had to talk to everybody else that was in. And boy, do I tell you, that can change your perspective on people. Like, you interact with people every day. Every single day. You interact with hundreds of people a day playing on the game. Especially like in PlayStation 3, because you couldn't talk to just these people. It wasn't an option to block out all the other noise. You had to talk to them.
You gotta talk to them.
All other people on your team, because we played Call of Duty every
and then Call of Duty
I was way too young to be playing Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
So is that scary?
Great.
For your kid to be
and
I
was getting to there. Okay, so yeah. So like with me, I think it did great. Partially. Like I like there's a good portion of me that's like, yo, without video games, I would not be able to communicate the way that I do now. Like I was talking to people, like you said, you could be playing with a grown man. I was in the 4th grade. I had friendships with people that were 25. Like 30. I had some 16-year-olds, some 18-year-olds, some 12-year-olds. Me as like a 13-year-old kid on the PlayStation. I remember like when we first got in like GTA, my main group, it consisted of like me, a 13-year-old, whatever, however old we were when GTA 5 came out, and then like these 2 other guys that I was like super cool with, 25 and like 19, and then the third guy was like 16. I'm telling you, and everyone lives in a different state.
That's the other thing.
And that's like. It's so cool because you get to meet an entire group of people that you would never get to meet.
Exactly.
And interacting with them versus interacting with other people, it really does like change your way of socializing, because that's how like I develop confidence, especially when talking to older people. You know, once you're younger and you have to go up and talk to people in like businesses, you know, that age gap can feel intimidating.
Yeah.
But because I had been doing it since Call of Duty days, having grown men yell at me since the start and yelling back at them, I didn't fear no adults. Adults didn't scare me like that growing up. Teachers didn't scare me like that growing up, which is probably a bad part. Teachers definitely should scare you. They shouldn't scare you, but you should.
But you should at least.
There's a part where you need to understand, like, this is
a person in authority.
This is a person in authority.
I can't just.
Which I wasn't a bad. You know, I wasn't going out there arguing with the teacher. I would be a smart A. No God, like I would be like I remember one time.
This might be bad.
No, it wasn't even that bad.
Was it Mr. Klein?
It was not Mr. Klein. It was, although I do remember that one. But it wasn't Mr. Klein. It was my 5th grade teacher. I'm not going to say her name, just in case. I'm not even going to say you know about. Exactly what I'm talking about. You might even know who I'm talking about. But she had a problem with me wearing my hair down. Like, if I had my hair down like this, she would have a problem with it. She'd be like, you're not focusing on your class, you're focusing on your hair. That's not true. I'd be sitting there doing this to get the hair out of my face so that I can look at the board. And she'd be like, you're always messing with your hair. I'd be like, I like my hair loose. And plus, tying it up at the time made my, like, head hurt because it was such a tight ponytail. So I wouldn't do it. And then she would, like, literally take me out the class, make me pull my hair up, go back in class. That was, like, a whole issue, right? But me and her, like, whenever she started going, I'd go right back at her. Like, I remember one time I dropped my pencil underneath the desk, and I went down there to pick it up. I was so sleepy, I fell asleep underneath my desk. Going to pick up the pencil. Right?
That's next level.
I was next level. Like, what are you doing? And then teacher calls me out, Miles. I, like, jump up. Like, huh? And she goes, are you falling asleep in class? I said, no, I'm resting my eyes underneath the desk. Get out. It was just like that type of interaction. I'd never had like, oh, what are you going to do to me type of interaction with my teacher. Because it was like, I've interacted with adults before. Yeah. And I should you should never fear the people around you. You should always be cautious. So like that also played into playing games. Like, hey, you can talk to these people. You can be cool.
Just watch out.
Watch out. Yeah. You don't know who's on the other side of that screen. You can't, like, never trusting somebody 100% on the game. Like, oh, yeah, I'm this person. Sure you are. But, we're not going to worry about that right now. But, yeah.
Do you feel like the fact that you were cognizant enough of that, though, played a role into you being okay with it? And do you feel like most people have the same mindset as you when they're growing up? 'Cause I feel like you're mature for your age.
Yeah, which is what a lot of people tell me. And so, so it's like...
This man.
People be like, yeah, you're like an old soul. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, when 30. I talk to you, I hear a 58-year-old man. But you're in a 17-year-old body. I'm like, I get it, but not that old, man. I don't feel like I'm all that mature. Or at least in my eyes, because, you never feel like you're all that mature. Yeah. Everyone's going about it not knowing what they're doing. But I always did kind of have that mindset of like, oh, this person is this, but that doesn't mean so much in the matter of X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Like, yeah, you can be an adult. Yeah, you can run a company, but that doesn't mean you know how to get to McDonald's in my neighborhood. There's certain parts of everyone that you might have an upper side of that they don't. Just like how they might be a little older than you. They might do a little more than you. There's something that you do better. That you do that I do a little bit better. So there's no reason for me to feel intimidated or like pressured by you. So maybe because not everyone thinks like that. There's a lot of people out there that get intimidated by those people of higher power and all that nonsense. So but I feel like throwing your kid into the deep end is kind of like one of the best methods of teaching. Like
it toughens them up a
so like when I went into the game, it was like, this is the deep end. These are people. This is your interaction of another human being. These are other people that do the same things that you do, in fact, because we both were into the games. So it's like, then you get the whole aspect of like, back in the day, gamers had like kind of a bad stigmatism around them. They were lazy, they were big, they were, they didn't do nothing. But you sit there and you're talking to people, you're like, yeah, man, I got a full-time job. I just do this as a pastime. You're like, you get, I got interactions with people that's like, nah, I'm doing this, I got this going on. Especially like as a young person, it was cool hearing all that information. Like playing with a guy who had 2 kids. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, yo, you have kids, you're a dad. Like what is that awesome. Like? And you get that interaction, like, yo, it's cool. I remember because he named his kids like Maximus and something else, and their shortened was Max, and I think it was Noah, but Noah had like a bigger attachment to him. It was Noah and Max. I remember Max because he always called him Maximus, which was his actual name. So it was like hearing him talking about like his interactions with being a father versus my other friend interaction with being a high schooler, me being in middle school. Hearing other people being like, I'm in college now. Hearing that interactions, because I remember like there'd be people you talk to like 2012. You wouldn't hear nothing from them for a while. You stopped playing the game together, and then all of a sudden
you come back.
You hear him back up. I remember this guy that I had played with since Black Ops 2, like way back in the day. I'm in early or late elementary school, early middle school. And then I talked to him again when I'm in high school. He was like entering high school when I was entering middle school. Yeah. So it was like, man, I'm working my full-time job now. It's that interaction as far as like information. It's mind-blowing. So it's like you get early interaction, like stuff like that. You wouldn't really have that interaction until, you're high school. You're out doing your job, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you see somebody from your old class, you're like, yo, what have you been up to? I had that interaction when I was in like elementary school. I guess, like you said, gaining those experiences early and moving it on definitely matured me quicker, and getting into altercations on the internet matured me quicker.
Absolutely.
Absolute menaces on the
Yeah, no, ran into your first racism incident on
them Call of Duty
them Call of Duty.
That's how I was like, Call of Duty
next
It was
level.
bad. But
I appreciate it back then.
Yeah,
I really did appreciate it.
because it showed you, like, even as a kid, that racism stuff is real.
Like
Yeah.
that.
That was my first interaction with like racism, was playing on the game. Like, people out there still think like that. We're not out of this yet.
We ain't out of it.
No,
We ain't out of it yet. So it's a cool reality check, but you also get to like buy your time, have fun. I think it's cool. I think it does like a lot for you. Like, I hope my kids getting into video games because I'm gonna be a grown man playing video games. I've been playing video games my whole life.
Grown man with kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the grown man with kids playing video games. And it's like I hope I can like well balance life and video games.
Yeah.
It's like already in college, I'm having to not play the game nowhere near as amount as I used to. I used to sit in front
I
of
was
this,
like, there's so little time now.
sitting in front of that system like 12 hours a day, just gaming. But I mean, like, you also build like lifetime friends.
Yeah.
There. Like, I still talk to a bunch of my friends that I play on the PlayStation with to this day. But yeah, I feel like my kids are definitely gonna get that interaction.
What do you feel?
Right, I want them to play games for sure. Because to go back on the Call of Duty thing, I used to play Call of Duty real young.
Yeah.
Me and all these other people doing like that.
The squeakers.
Like this is all man.
Getting on that
Like,
mic.
Talking to grown men, be like, "Why you squeaking
Why you
so hard? What's
squeaking?
wrong with you?" Like having that little.
Why you so young?
Man. Like exactly. Like I think those interactions were just really cool. It's like, oh dang, I'm like 10. This bro like 30. Like that's crazy.
Yo, and you be best friends.
And best friends with them just because we're playing a game, a virtual game.
You can bond over something so simple.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and it definitely toughened up because I heard some
Crazy.
crazy stuff back then. But I think it's like a reality check. Like it's just cool to go through like playing a game, meeting people, having like okay, you play one game, different set of people. They can be from like different game, different set of people. It's just so many people that you meet. It's
you can
really
get matched
cool.
up with people that already know each other. You can get matched up with people that have never met each other.
They never met. It's just
You
really
could
cool.
have people on your team that have all had each other. You can have people on your team that have never seen each other before.
Exactly.
There's so many different dynamics that can go
Yeah,
into
it really is.
Yeah. Gaming is at truest form is social media.
It's social.
Yeah, it's social media.
It is social interaction
Yeah.
more than it is anything else. Like the pinnacle of gaming. I mean, like, you gotta also think about how far gaming has come.
It's the communication. I feel like that's like the biggest. That's what makes it the most fun, that communication aspect. And now they're adding like proximity chat in the game. It makes it even more
that's
real.
crazy.
So fun.
That's
so
crazy.
fun. I'm still trying to get everybody at the Palace to all download Among Us, and we all hop in.
No, we have to play Among Us.
Dude, that would be
that would be
funny.
awesome.
Among Us tonight? Question mark. We'll put a pin on that.
We'll
We're just gonna remember that.
Game night, Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
How do you feel about the metaverse and like our transition from? It went from parents, they used to play like board games, right?
Right.
We play games on gaming consoles and all that. Now we're getting into the world of it used to be augmented reality where you have to have like your phone and you can like see stuff.
Yeah.
But now we have
VR.
now we got virtual reality, get into like mixed reality, all that different type of stuff. And then we're gonna eventually get to the metaverse. So once we hit like peak metaverse,
Yeah.
how do you feel like that's gonna affect?
It's gonna be so fun for me.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna have so
and
much.
honestly, I love it that we're in the middle. Like, okay, like our parents
We
just
see the
like
development.
exactly like our parents just like, oh yeah, I play board games. Video games are cool. Like I kind of get it, but not really. But we're in the
Someone
middle.
got to the
We
NES.
play old board games, and we're have so much fun playing video games. Oh, so much fun. VR, we're still having so much fun. It's like we get all of
We're
it.
just getting different types of fun.
Exactly. It's like
and it's gonna be
development.
like, oh man, remember? Look at how this looks compared to like the game.
A long time.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And I used to be so hyped on the GameCube.
Oh man,
Like,
that Tony Hawk
Y'all
game.
remember when 2K13 came out? Them graphics, ah!
And now it looks like there's an actual game.
Right, that's a real person on this is cool.
My grandma would come in, and Nana would literally come in and
I know
watch.
what you about to say.
Yeah, she would come in and be like, "This real?
Is this real? My dad does that all the time. He
I
does
was like,
that.
no, this is a game.
Yeah,
She'd be like, oh man, oh man, this is like real people. You can't tell the difference no more.
They got the shadows. They got the lighting. They got people
yeah.
sweating. They got people with pores.
Well,
Yeah,
you got
it's
people
crazy.
with acne. Especially like when you get into racing games and you look at the environment and the like graphics of the cars and all that. Racing game like Forza has some of the best world graphics I have ever seen.
That's why.
But then like go.
When GTA 6 comes out, that jump is gonna be insane.
Because when did GTA 5 come out?
Like
2013.
2013.
It's been too long.
We was like 5th grade.
Bro, imagine comparing 2K13 graphics to 2K22's graphics. Like, you know how big of a jump that is?
It's insane, especially with me still being on old gen. I'm not even
on.
Get the next gen is different.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, look, I'm trying.
I'm really trying, but I find that money real.
Bro, that $700 console is insane.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's a whole refund.
I swear. Like,
and how crazy, like, bro, your whole refund?
Everything on the game.
Your whole refund on the station.
Not even on the game, just the console.
Just the console. You
can't
even play anything.
You can't even play nothing for real.
I'm like, nah, I can't. Nah, I can't. And you know it's crazy. So like with mine, I got a terabyte, so I got like a bunch more space. What am I gonna do for a PlayStation 5 and 500 gigabytes?
Yeah, now you're gonna have to get a hard
drive. Don't PS5 come with like 2 terabytes with it?
It might, but you also gotta think about how big games are getting now.
Facts.
Like
because the graphics
basic
crazy.
You want Madden or 2K?
Yeah,
they're like 150,
literally
pushing 200 gigabytes.
Imagine this GTA.
And you won't even open the
game.
GTA
might be a terabyte. No cap.
It itself might be a terabyte.
It might be a terabyte.
Cause like, what?
There's gonna be so much. They have to add so much.
You're building me a virtual city, a metaverse, a literal metaverse.
And the thing is, once we get into like, if we have like headsets and everything, you feel like people are gonna get stuck in the metaverse, especially with how realistic they're making stuff look now.
Bro, it's gonna be crazy. People have separate lives.
Yeah, like Sword Art Online.
I was about to get into it because like, have you seen Sword Art Online?
I know the concept.
Oh man.
I'm
waiting.
It's a cool concept, but it's a real.
It's genuinely scary.
Yeah,
it brings a good point because it's like, hey, look, like stuff is fun, but stuff can get wicked.
It can get wicked really fast. Like if you were playing a game, put a headset on, and you were stuck in there. If you die in the game, you die in real life. Like that is insane. Like if that would happen, what would people do?
No cap. I'm in there. Look. If I know, like, because of Sword Art Online, the Nerve Gear probably never come out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If it does,
I'm in
there.
I'm talking.
And tell me, God forbid, let me get that call. Yeah, you die in the game. You die. I'm the best person at this game. Like I've been saying this since I saw Sword Art Online. Like, hey, yo, if Sword Art Online ever like if the Nerve Gear comes out and there's a game like SwordArt Online, people shoot for like, best in the neighborhood, best in their area. I'm gonna be the best at the world at this freaking game. I don't think you understand because that's me out there. It's like it's not me controlling the character. Like, that's me out there. I have full control. There's no reason I'm not gonna be the best player in this game because now it's no longer about hand-eye coordination. Are you that good?
Are you that good?
I'm that good. I promise you, I'm gonna be that guy.
Do you feel like once it gets to that point though, like even the technology, do you feel like there's gonna be problems with that, or like people that get stuck within the metaverse? Because I feel like that's one of my like main concerns about it.
Yeah.
I feel like the technology is dope. I feel like some people are gonna be able to be in it and then get out of it.
Honestly, but it kind of reminds me of like, have you seen the movie Ready Player One?
Yeah.
That it's that type of like, I'm so stuck in the game, like I can't even do like just regular activities. Yeah. Just my whole life is based around the game and this whole virtual thing. Just
my virtual life is better than my real life.
Exactly. That is going to be like a conversation.
But it's like that's what your virtual life is supposed to be. Your virtual life is supposed to be a place you can live out your fantasy.
So,
but
social media. This is what this sounds like.
Sounds like social media.
Yes, and is this like a revolving thing?
Yeah, it
is.
It's always.
Social media is the key.
Social media is like the start of all the nonsense.
Yeah, it's everything.
It really is because it's like the video games would have never gotten as big as it's gotten if it wasn't for social media. Social media exploded the gaming market,
making clips on everything,
like
montages.
YouTubers,
Twitch. None of these things would exist if it wasn't for social media because at their pinnacle, they are social media. Video games itself is social media. Like Twitter, social media. Like
everything is social media.
And you know, and also with social media, it's also like we have the best readers we've ever had.
What do you mean by that?
So like, parents always kind of get mad at us because like, oh, you guys need to read a book
Oh,
instead of getting on that phone. But like, what are you doing the entire time you're on that phone?
Reading.
You're reading. You're looking at Twitter. You're reading captions. You're looking at comments. You're interacting with people.
Having to analyze stuff.
Yeah, you're analyzing. You're using all that greatness in that head to contemplate what you're looking at on your screen. And social media is the reason behind that. I know what someone 2,000 miles away from me is thinking because of social media. And also, my vocabulary has expanded beyond it ever should have. Absolutely. Because someone on Twitter kept posting
favorite
the
word
same
go.
Favorite word?
Favorite word go.
Scribbling.
Respectfully.
Respectfully is a good one.
Respectfully
is a good Respectfully is a good one. Oh man, that is hilarious. Favorite word?
There's a lot of good words. Yeah.
Onomatopoeia is fun to say.
I like dastardly.
Dastardly is good.
All my favorite words are bad words.
That's
real.
I concur.
That's a good word.
That is a good word. It's a good word.
Concur is a good word.
It's so funny. I started saying that because I was at church.
Delegate.
I was at church and like Pastor was saying something, and then this dude like behind me was like, "I concur," like real loud. I'm like, yeah.
That right there.
This guy gets it, man. No, this guy absolutely gets it.
Do you feel like what was I about to ask? Do you feel like metaverse, social media, everything? Once we get to that point, do you feel like the generation that comes after that? So not this. I feel like this generation. I feel like they're gonna get the beginnings of it, but they're not gonna get like full metaverse type. Like how we got the beginning of social media, but we weren't born straight into it. It's like this people that are born into the metaverse. How do you feel like they're gonna navigate real life, or will it be really real life? Is it just gonna all transition into a virtual
I think because it's also like we also don't know how strong the metaverse is gonna be as far as its like hold on the world. Because like you bring in a metaverse, you could technically bring in a brand new set of jobs.
Everything
you could have.
So it's like
you could have. Literally, like you could have people manage the metaverse. That creates millions of jobs itself. Like if you wanted to, you could have people delegate each server. That itself is going to be an insane amount of jobs, especially including like the IT. Like me going into IT,
isn't perfect.
There's a good chance I'm gonna be involved with the metaverse. Like there's a good chance I can get involved with something like that, which would be dope. But like, yeah, like people are gonna have, especially like the next generation, they're gonna have a hard hold on the metaverse.
Yeah,
but it could be good. Create jobs, create opportunities, create social interactions. Or it can do the exact opposite.
How do you feel like people are going to be able to balance that with
real life?
Because even though they'll have the jobs and everything, they still have to support themselves. They still have to live in real life.
Yeah.
But even on social media, like we'll be on TikTok or Instagram or something, you just scrolling.
It'll be hours.
Scrolling. And you don't even notice.
Exactly.
So imagine being in something, but you don't even notice that you're hungry. You don't notice that you need to go get a drink. You don't notice that you have a job that you have to go to.
Exactly.
You're just.
Do you think it would put you in like a consciousness of just like it's always here? Like I'm like always have to be here.
That's what I feel like is gonna happen eventually.
I feel like there's definitely people that will get to that point. I mean,
sure.
I feel like there's people that get to that point where they
already.
Yeah, like even with today's media, there's people that are only on social media. There's people that are only on video games, and there are cases out there where they kind of shut their life down.
Yeah,
just to focus on what they. I mean, hell, there's people who do that on like fashion, designers, writers, like
writers for sure.
People who have like perfect comic book artists. People have lost their life to just full dedication onto their craft. It's like, especially like manga artists.
Yeah, it's
like those hours. Who was it? What studio was it? I think they did Mappa. Mappa got under huge fire because they were overworking all the like 24-hour shifts. Like the only thing you do is sit in here and you draw and animate.
Like you're not even worried about your life at home. Just anything.
You don't go home. You sleep here, and all you do is work. That's that's today's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could definitely get bad in the metaverse. Like as far as
It's gonna get bad, especially if that's just their job. For people, they're gonna be like in the VR or stuff like that, and it's just like they want to be like our life is
They
really
enjoy
just better. They enjoy it. It's gonna be really bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they feel like their life in the virtual world is better than their life in the real world,
Exactly.
Like, say you get like clout in the metaverse, but you don't have clout like that in real life.
Like it's like VR chat. People like social anxiety. You don't really talk to people, but in VR chat, they don't know what you look like. You're
a whole new
You're just
person.
whatever you wanna be.
You're just talking to anybody. People be on
Choose
VR
your
chat for
character.
hours,
I
not
would
even thinking
love to
about
get
it.
our group on VR chat. That would be so funny.
That would be
It
funny.
would be so funny.
Get to make any avatar, talk to anybody.
Talk-
Yeah,
Anybody.
they don't know what you look like.
They got
nothing. They don't know nothing about you.
got video game relationships out there that people are only like
Yeah.
intimate on the game.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm like-
insane, and that's just now. When it gets
Bro, when it gets virtual,
get-
oh.
like God forbid, we can start feeling stuff in the game.
or I mean,
Insane.
there's already stuff you can get, and
like that makes you
yeah,
feel
you
it,
feel
but
it.
it's like
But if you really
you
get
gotta
the-
like go for that. But
Yeah.
who knows? There might be a system out there where they're just like, yep, you slide this glove on, you slide this glove on, and all of a sudden it connects to all your nervous system.
See, and that's the thing that I think feel like would be cool, because I've always imagined, like, if you got like Madden, you got 2K.
Oh yeah.
You don't get to make your my player.
you're
My player.
You
is-
are.
You are.
And it's like
You're my
first
player.
person, you're just playing
You just-
basketball.
oh, skill difference.
You could
would be
feel
crazy.
the ball. Like imagine you could feel
Exactly.
the ball and
With,
feel
like,
people
just-
bump into you.
No, that would be cool.
That's gonna be so.
But that's when we're really gonna see who's really good at 2K or not.
Yes.
ain't no
And no hacks, no glitches, unless you glitch in real life, but that may be a problem.
You probably could. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine like metaverse GTA?
Oh,
And that's also insane.
That'd be so.
If you have like sensors all over, you just feel it
but people would really get their violence hot off because they'd be like, you know what? Let's just be
I'm mad.
I'm mad.
I'm
gonna
mad.
just hit people in the back. Be like, that's crazy.
Yeah. But you can't be doing that in real life, though.
I'm
That's
saying.
the whole point of the metaverse. You can do that.
I think that's
can
why
do that.
it's gonna be. I think it's not gonna be like super bad, but it can definitely
it
has
can
potential
get
to be
bad.
really
It has
bad.
potential to get
Has
really
potential to
bad.
get really bad for sure.
It's morally a way of how people handle it.
Do you feel like the same way about like games? Like, you know how people say kids playing violent games tend to tend to do more violent things in real life because just subconsciously they get to the point where it's like,
there's no difference. Yeah, I've heard that argument.
do you feel like that?
I've heard all the rah about it.
Do you feel like you get to that point where you feel like that's like a rare thing?
I feel like, I mean, the only people who really get like that are normally mentally ill.
Yeah,
They're either mentally ill or children. And children don't ever make it that far. Children get stopped very quickly.
but
But,
I'm
I
kind of
mean,
doing it.
So what? Like, I've heard one incident where they were like, nah, the reason I did this was because I played GTA.
Yeah.
And it honestly felt like a bailout, you know. It felt like, oh, I need something to blame. Maybe they'll give me a shorter sentence type of deal. There's been scientific studies about if video game is truly the cause of someone being more violent or not. And they all have come back negative. Like, at least to my knowledge, the ones I've all looked at, like I've looked at a good amount of them, but they've all come back negative. Because, you know, me playing a lot of video games growing up, people always like,
It's
oh, you
interesting.
yeah, my mom always been like, game's gonna rot your brain, and make you violent, you know. You bought them for me, you knew better.
If I do something, it is on you.
Yeah, if I did something.
You bought it.
That's your fault.
I also feel like games today, they're getting more intricate.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Fortnite. When Fortnite first
Yeah.
dropped, I love Fortnite. Fortnite was fun. I used to play it. Fortnite mobile, amazing game.
Spicy.
I didn't play Fortnite mobile.
I played it a little bit.
I used to play it all the time,
no.
every study hall.
Once you figured out that you could connect your controller to it,
Next level. And nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
And then after, like, it got to the point that when people actually, I was just using building. People just used to build to, you need to get up on top of a house, you just build a couple of stairs on top of the house. But now it's gotten to the point where people are studying how to build faster in Fortnite, different mechanics
like
and all like
tactics,
the
build, like
Yeah.
you shoot at somebody, they build 2-story house in span like 5 seconds.
So like me being someone who's not gonna do all that, it does suck, but at the same time, it's pretty cool. Because it's like,
And
look at how far
coordination
you
in
get.
time.
Look at, so like I compare that directly to like think about Avatar. Have you watched Avatar? Last time? Have you watched Korra?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
you
a
saw
little bit.
the evolution of bending.
Yeah.
Like people bending in core way better than the average Joe and A.
Yeah.
So like you could see it. Like it's just visually apparent. Just like how it is in video games. Like Fortnite's been going on long enough where like
everybody.
the peak people back in our day would not hang with the peak people today. It's like watching Bob McAdoo and then go and seeing LeBron. You're like, these people aren't keeping up with this guy. he's a different level. So it's like it's cool to see like that evolution. People have broken it down and turned it into a science. Like I think it's really cool. Plus there's a weakness to everything. Yeah. Like people who do that, I normally just go into the bottom of them and place a wall on top of me and wait.
They don't come down.
Gotta come down eventually. Like you did all that for what? Now we're both sitting here looking crazy.
Exactly.
So come on down so we can get this over with. That's normally what happens.
And it's even, I feel like it's even helping with like skills or even, for example, like Minecraft and everything. I feel like that's working your mind more than it does anything
hand-eye coordination in video games. I think is also very important.
Next level. Yeah. Like they're even adding more, you know, like the Xbox Elite controller, like the custom PlayStation controllers, where they have like more toggles on the back. So that's like
there's more
using every single finger on your hand,
and you're
just because you see
something and you're reacting to it. Like, you're building your hand-eye coordination
like a lot. Yeah.
Next generation of humans.
Literally the next generation of humans.
Gaming.
They're gonna be gamers. Absolutely
big
gamers. They're next generation of humans.
Does that mean that social media has evolved us to be better?
To be better? I mean, it's debatable. Honestly. Like I feel like there is a genuine debate. It's also made us maybe even more crueler because we have that option to say something with no consequence.
Do you feel like it makes us more cruel, or do you feel like it's our human nature and we're just now we have a platform?
It genuinely might be our human nature because humans have battled against each other since the dawn of time. Like there was always a conflicting side. Yeah. Even if you go back to like the Bible, I mean, don't eat the apple. Or she ate the apple. There's always a conflicting side. There's always gonna be someone that be's like, no. There's always gonna be one person out there that's gonna be like, I'm not vibing with that. So I feel like it might just be in human nature to be, I guess, like slightly evil.
I think it also because social media, it's like, okay, now you're encouraged to speak your mind. So just like your true nature really just comes out. Freedom of speech.
Some people can argue if that was a good or bad thing for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like it gets to a point where that has to be limited on social media because before it was freedom of speech, but you also couldn't speak to hundreds and thousands and millions of people, especially if you're a prominent figure.
Not everybody can hear you.
Yeah, but now, do you feel like that kind of has to be, I guess, controlled more so, since you can actually get your opinion out and heard by more people, which could actually affect stuff that happens in real life?
Yeah. I feel like you make a good point. It's like, I don't know if it needs to be like limited more
like
than
certain stuff.
More than some people may need to be held accountable. Yeah. Maybe it's not even like, oh, you can't say that morally if someone retaliates because you said that.
Then that.
You call somebody the hard N-word.
Yeah.
Sometimes you needed some reaction back, and if that reaction happened to be physical, I feel like that may be fair. Like I feel like maybe that should be written into our constitution. Like, hey, you can say whatever the heck you want,
but be ready.
Some people may not like it, and if they don't like it and they hit you for it, and it seemed justified.
And that really just goes back to its freedom of speech. Like, you can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want.
But you have to know there's consequences to everything that you say.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you don't have to be held accountable for what you say. I feel like that should be put into, as far as like, if you want to say limited, I wouldn't say it's like limited, but people definitely need to be able to retaliate. Yeah. But it's like, you got a group of people and he's like, oh, I'm hungry. And people turn around like, oh, you're hungry? It's kind of crazy, like freedom of speech, but like context.
Do you feel like people that are in more prominent positions, should their freedom of speech be more controlled than ours, since they have a following, they have a brand, they have people that they can influence more easily?
Great point. I mean, I think about it immediately. I go to Trump.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. He
Yeah.
was tweeting some crazy stuff.
He was saying some crazy stuff, and you think like, okay, the general public is not going to be okay with this, and then you go on social media, he has a huge following. Like there's a lot of people that think like this guy.
Just look at it, I'm just like, oh, he's the president. He's literally our
he's
our leader.
Yeah. He's our like face. Like if you think of the United States, that's the guy you think of. That's the person we put as representative of our country.
Like if it was some like average like Twitter person just saying what he was saying, like okay, he wilding. Yeah. But I think
that's
just
our president.
Yeah, this is our president.
That's the president. He has that pool.
Yeah, this is what the leader of our country thinks.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's just like that's the leader. If it's just some average person, like I get it, you wilding, whatever. But like president, leader of the United States, I think you need to be.
It gets kind of iffy.
It's a little iffy. It's a little iffy.
I still say that. I don't think anyone should be limited to what they say.
Yeah.
Again, people should be held accountable. Like, hey, if the majority of people say that person said something crazy, that person said something crazy, that person said something insane. But Thanos said the same thing. People called him crazy, and now look at it. He might have been right.
100% right.
100% right.
Thanos. But
that man
that's enough time.
That's another conversation. Thanos was right, but not for the reasons that he thought he was right for.
Yeah. But he was right though.
He was right though. No cap. He was right.
Best villain?
I put him up there.
Throughout
anything? I wouldn't say of like anything. He's definitely got his hat in the pool, no doubt.
Is he top 3? I don't know.
It was inevitable.
Voldemort?
I wouldn't put Voldemort in the top 3.
I don't think Voldemort.
I'm putting like Joker, Darth Vader.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I can see that.
Like just throw out everything. But I can put that stuff like a 3 over. But like Joker, Darth Vader, that's peak villain.
Jeffrey Lannister. Joffrey Lannister. Bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Bad guy.
Great villain.
But bad guy. Bad guy.
Horrible guy.
Yeah.
Man, who's
Goodness gracious. But yeah, this has been a great episode, great conversation.
Absolutely.
Love this chat. It's gone a whole bunch of different directions.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like that's the best part. Being social media. Social media could have gone anywhere.
In any direction.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this conversation. Definitely have to have you guys back on for another conversation.
Of course, it's fun.
And then also for the Run It Back series next season, which will be in a very long time. But
we'll be there.
We'll be there. Hey, we gonna be on another episode. Season 2. We got at least be on one.
Have to. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube, go on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, IGTV, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything.
And you know what that is?
Social media.
Social media.
Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good one.